Welcome to Math Beyond Borders. Mathematics Simplified. Welcome geniuses. In today's video, let's talk about proper and improper fractions, and based on that we will also look at mixed fractions, right? So let's head on. Now, proper fractions. If you remember, we did a video on fractions where we talked about how a fraction should be understood. Now, if you remember, fraction has two parts. There is a numerator upon the denominator, okay? Now, the simplest rule to remember is that in a proper fraction, numerator is less than the denominator. And in an improper fraction, numerator is more than the denominator. And why is that? Let me show you. Now let's say there is a pizza. There are 6 slices in the pizza and I decided to eat 1 slice of pizza. So that ratio can be, or that how much pizza I ate in a fraction can be written as 1 slice out of 6 slices. 1 out of 6, 1 over 6, right? So that's a proper fraction because denominator represents the total and the numerator represents the factor or the property that we are talking about, correct? So with this factor I mean what I ate. Or if I was to ask you guys how much of the pizza is left, can you signify that in a fraction? You can write 5 out of 6, 5 over 6, right? Again, the factor was what is left and what is the total, right? So that's a proper fraction. Now in improper fraction, and why is it called improper, is because the numerator is bigger than the denominator. Now, just out of logic, just think, can you eat 7 slices out of this pizza? No, right? There are just 6 slices in total, so you can eat only 6. So the moment the numerator becomes bigger than the denominator, it becomes an improper fraction. And remember, bigger, not same, bigger. So if I was to write 7 over 6 or 7 out of 6 pizza slices, technically it's not possible, right? I mean, there are of course mathematical principles with which that it may be made possible, but in terms of fractions and their usability, this is called an improper fraction because the denominator is smaller than the numerator. So what this represents total. How can the total be less than a portion of it, which is the factor, right? So it is not possible technically, and that's the reason it's called an improper fraction. Straightforward, right? So just remember this. If the numerator is bigger, it's improper. It should not be bigger. It should always be smaller than the denominator. And it can be any number smaller. It doesn't have to always be in sync. As long as it is smaller than the denominator, it's a proper fraction. Okay? And with that comes the concept of mixed fractions. So let me show you. So as you can see, there is an improper fraction 48 over 5, the property. As I said, numerator is much bigger than the denominator, so it's an improper fraction, right? How can we change that into a mixed fraction? Let me take this 62 over 9 away for a moment and let's make a mixed fraction out of 48 over 5. To do that, I will divide 48 with a 5. So 48 will be divided by 5. And guys, pay attention because this is going to be a pretty quick technique. How close can I reach 48 with a 5? So I can do 9 times, right? For 5 9s are 45. What is left? 3. Now pay attention to what goes where. The denominator stays as it is. The number that we multiplied it by comes to the side, and the number which is the remainder or what we will add at the end will become the mixed fraction. Okay? So now remember, so divide the number that is the denominator remains the denominator. The number that is the quotient, or the number which we will multiply the denominator with, becomes the main number, and the number what is left as a remainder comes here. Okay, and let's look at one more example. Now let's do it the other way, right? Let's make a improper fraction out of a mixed fraction. So let's have a look. So now you can see that there is a mixed fraction 7 4 over 8. Remember the rule, you multiply here these two numbers and then you add number to the answer. So 7 times 8 is, guys, 7 8s are 56. Good. 56 plus 4 is 60. So your improper fraction is 60 over 8. So this is what it converts to, right? Let's try the other way together with it. So let's say if it would have been 60 over 8. So let's divide 60 with 8, right? So 8, how close can I reach 60? I can reach 7. 7 8s are 56, right? So 56, what is left? 4, okay? So again, the denominator stays as it is. So 8 is the denominator. The number that we multiplied it by comes here, and the number that is remainder comes here. Now look, it's the same fraction as this. You see? So that's how you can change improper fraction to a mixed fraction, or a mixed fraction to an improper fraction. It was easy, right?
Thank you for learning with us. Please share the video with those who you think may need it. Also, if you want to request a topic, put that in the comments section. So until the next video, keep learning, keep questioning. Bye.